But I think our Fire Spirit might be able to pull it in range of the giant skeleton. And yeah, really good Fire Spirit there by us, and I think the Death Bomb will just... Yo, what's going on guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over the games that got me #1 in the world with Hoggy Q. Alright, hopping in the first match, we're going to be up against Raken, aka this guy. So, I used to face this guy quite a lot on ladder, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing Lava here. He's going to go with the Lava first play on us, so I'm going to go with the Giant Skeleton in one lane and a Hog in the other lane, just to like make sure that we're going to get some damage either way. Like, he's going to have to choose which one he wants to defend, and he'll go with the Barbs there in the middle. I guess he tried to like split them, maybe to go for like half of them on our Hog and half on our Giant Skelly, but it didn't really end up working out too well for him right there. So our Hog took pretty much all of his tower there, and our Giant Skeleton Death Bomb does kill his Barbs pretty nicely right there, and we can just go with the Queen ability right here, and if he goes with like a balloon or something, we can still just go with like a cannon on it to defend pretty well. And I think Fire Spirit should clean up like these Lava Pups pretty nicely right here, and tower is going to target one of those Skelly Drags as well, so already off to a really good start here. He does take like pretty much all of our tower as well, but we still have like a full health Queen alive with the ability up still, so I'm just going to go with the Giant Skeleton in front of this Queen, just to like make sure that if he goes with like an Inferno Dragon on it, it's going to die pretty easily, and he'll go with a pretty smart Inferno Dragon there behind his tower instead of kind of more up front, but I think our Queen should take it out pretty nicely here, and he's going to go with a set of Barbs there on our Hog Rider in the left lane, but I think our Queen might get quite a ton of damage here, because honestly the King Tower does like really little damage, and it shoots really slowly, so should be able to hopefully take most of his King Tower here. And he did also waste his Barbs at this point, so I think if we go with like a Giant Skeleton plus Hog here in a second, we might be able to 3-crown him, because I think he only really has like a Miner as his ground defense, because he did waste his Barbs, which are really his only way to stop our Giant Skellies very good. And even if he goes with like a defensive Miner here, I think our Hog could probably 3-crown him anyway, so gonna go with the Giant Skelly Hog here. Gonna see what he wants to do against it. He will go with the set of Skelly Drag there, but they're not even gonna like splash the Hog, and unfortunately our Hog does actually kind of just do like some really weird dance there behind the Giant Skelly. But looks like the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb will actually hit his King Tower, surprisingly, and that would be a good game. Alright, and in the next match, we're going to be up against this guy, so I'm pretty sure he almost always plays just like a bunch of random super aggressive decks, and he's going to go with the Sparky first play here, so kind of similar to the last opponent, always just trying to like go with super aggressive first plays. But we do have Queen in hand here, and I'm just going to wait on my Giant Skeleton a bit. I kind of want to play it right on top of his Sparky. Normally when you face a Sparky deck, you kind of want to go with like a Queen in the back, so then go with like a Giant Skelly right on top of their entire push, just to like really melt everything. And unfortunately our Queen will die to his Sparky Splash right there, but I think we should be fine here just because of the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb. So a little bit unfortunate on that Sparky Splash, but we should be fine either way. He will go with the Golden Knight in the back right here, so not really too sure what version he's running specifically. He might have like Mini P.E.K.K.A with it, but I'm not too sure. He does have Bats here, and he's also going to go with the Mini P.E.K.K.A, it looks like, so kind of an awkward cycle for us here. I think we just have to go with the cannon, and we might take quite a bit of damage because they don't really have like a Valkyrie like, or like something cheap to really defend well. And yeah, I think we're going to take a Mini P.E.K.K.A hit here, but we can just log it back to make sure we don't take too much damage. And okay, his Golden Knight doesn't get too much damage either, so honestly really good defense for the cards we had in cycle right there. Maybe it could have been a little bit more passive there, but I wasn't really even expecting the Mini P.E.K.K.A, so yeah, I guess it is going to kind of work out for him, but not too bad for us. And he does go with the Sparky in the back once again, so we can just go with the Hog opposite lane, because I know he doesn't have any Mini P.E.K.K.A in cycle right now, so should be fine for us here. I'm just going to go with the Queen at the river, just like assault the Sparky before he can get the chance to play like a Goblin Giant in front of it. And unfortunately it does die to the Sparky Splash, but I kind of had to use the Queen ability really early on, just in case he went with like a Zap on our Queen, and if he goes with like a Zap on the Queen at the perfect time, it won't actually allow me to use my ability on it, so it can like allow the Sparky to kill it. So that's why I went with like the pretty early ability there, but still got the job done pretty nicely. He's going to go with the Goblin Giant here. I think our Giant Skeleton probably should deal with it pretty nicely here. He's going to go with also a Golden Knight in the opposite lane, but I think Giant Skeleton should have everything under control pretty nicely. You're going to go with the high Fire Spirit as well, just to hopefully catch any type of Golden Knight ability, and Queen is going to finish off everything really nicely right here. So yeah, already off to a really good start, and he is going to have Zappies here as well, it looks like, which are actually pretty good for me, I would say, because I think they're going to not really do too much for him. They're going to be decent against our Hog Riders, but besides that, they're not really going to do anything. And also going to get the Queen ability off right there before his Mini P.E.K.K.A killed it, but he is going to like Zap and whatnot, so he does only take one hit from our Queen, but still looking pretty good for us here. And I can just go with the Giant Skeleton right now into his Sparky, because if he wants to push into it, pretty much everything will die to the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb, and if he doesn't want to push into it, I think we should be fine as well. So yeah, I think our queen will probably finish off this Sparky alongside the giant skeleton. Unfortunately, our fire spirit doesn't really hit too many bats there, but we do have a pretty nice giant skeleton plus hog push going right there. And the mini P.E.K.K.A actually left the hog rider with like 1 HP left, so that's actually really lucky for us right here. And he's also gonna have to spend those zappies on our queen. So yeah, everything's really going our way right now. I don't really know how I'm getting so lucky against Sparky. That pretty much never happens to me, but I'll definitely take it. And by the way, guys, I also want to shout out that I do have an Instagram that I'm going to be sharing with all of you guys. It's going to be in the link in the description of this video, so make sure to follow me if you want to get some in real life updates and whatnot. It's not really going to be about Clash Royale, but there will be quite a few just in real life things if you guys want to see what my life is like, I guess. And yeah, I think his Sparky will kill our giant skeleton right here, but it's still going to leave that death bomb behind, which should finish off most of the goblin giant, and Queen is still staying alive for so long. It's really nice to have Queen in this matchup. Like, I know quite a few of you guys are forced to run Musketeer in this deck just because of, like, free-to-play problems, more or less, but I feel like Queen is just so good in this deck if you actually can use her, so if you can use her, I would definitely advise you guys to, but if you guys are more of, like, a free-to-play player, I'd probably recommend just using Musketeer. Even Firecracker could potentially work as well, and he's going to with the Sparky at the river here, kind of just a last-effort push, probably, but I think our giant skeleton will have it pretty much under control here. His Sparky will just die really quickly, and Log plus Earthquake is going to take the win, so GG. Alright, in the next match, we're going to be up against this guy, so I also faced this guy quite a lot recently in some of the latest videos. I'm pretty sure he's playing P.E.K.K.A right here, so it will be a bit of an interesting matchup. We don't have like as quick of a cycle as like some of the cheaper hog decks, like having the giant skeleton in here, which kind of makes it a little bit more awkward against the P.E.K.K.A decks, because it's just nice to have like a cheap Valkyrie to like kill his ghosts and bandits, but in this deck we do have giant skeleton, which can make it a little bit harder, but I really like giant skeleton in some of the other matchups that are pretty common on ladder right now, so don't really regret having giant skeleton, but it could make this matchup a little bit harder. So I'm gonna have to go with the cannon here on his P.E.K.K.A. I don't really want to waste my giant skeleton right away, because I kind of want to save it for whatever other spam he might use right here. And he's gonna go with the battle ram, so he's gonna have to go with the giant skeleton plus the log in it, but it should deal with everything pretty nicely right here. And yeah, he's gonna go with the bandit here really early, but I think our fire spirit might be able to pull it in range of the giant skeleton. And yeah, really good fire spirit there by us, and I think the death bomb will just finish off that magic archer, so really well played by us. But you can see that sometimes they can catch us in a little bit of awkward cycles just because of our kind of more expensive cards in this deck. But yeah, still off to a pretty good start. Got those couple nice hog shots at the very start of the game, so already in a pretty good spot here. I'm just going to cycle another hog rider right here. He's going to go with the P.E.K.K.A on it, so he's probably going to deny all damage right there. And yeah, the real nice thing about this deck is that even when we go with like those hogs and we get like a negative like 3 elixir trade and give him like that full, no, not like a negative 3 elixir trade, but like a positive 3 elixir trade, but he gets that like full health P.E.K.K.A, which is really good for him. But the nice thing about this deck is that we still have like a really solid defense, so even after that we can usually still find a way to defend pretty easily right there. And yeah, just like this, we're going to defend pretty much perfectly, even though we were down quite a bit of elixir just from going with that hog straight into his P.E.K.K.A. So yeah, looking really nice right here. And there's not really too much to say about this match. You kind of just have to play like really good micro defense and always making sure you like use your cards really wisely, especially like your giant skeleton and your archer queen. And you can't really be afraid to use your cannons on like P.E.K.K.As and stuff. Like, you don't always have to save your cannons for their battle rams. You can also kind of use them against like P.E.K.K.As and even bandits or whatnot if you have to. So don't be afraid to do that. And I'm just going to pop the queen ability right here. It's going to be forced to use that defensive battle ram, but it's still going to allow our queen to get like 2 shots in his tower, so really nice for us here. And the one thing we have to watch out for with these pre-placed cannons are that he can't always go with like the sniping magic archers on them like he's going to do here, but we kind of predicted it pretty nicely there with a set of skeletons. And I don't really want to pop my queen ability just yet, because I was pretty sure they was going to use the zap there as well to finish off our queen, so yeah, should be fine right here. Looks like the giant skeleton will actually go towards his P.E.K.K.A, and it's going to help us out in this interaction against his second P.E.K.K.A, but I think it's going to die pretty quickly here, but it's still going to leave the death bomb behind, so you can't really play too much behind his P.E.K.K.A or anything like that, which is pretty nice for me here. I'm just going to go with the giant skeleton right into the middle of the lane, just so that he can't really play anything else behind that battle ram. And also going to pop the queen ability right here. Really nice to have that queen just get like so much defensive value, but also quite a lot of offensive value. And he's going to go with the P.E.K.K.A there on that queen, so I'm just going to go with the giant skelly hog in the left lane. Not really too sure he's going to defend this, and I'm not sure if the giant skeleton bomb is going to be in range of the tower or not. I feel like it might be just out of range, but at least it should kill most of the E-ways here. And yeah, it looks like it doesn't hit the tower right there, but still really nice giant skeleton death bomb. It's always nice to like finish off all of those glass cannon units with like the giant skeleton death bomb plus like a log or something like that. So yeah, already off to like a really or I mean, I keep on saying already off to, but like we're in a really nice spot right here in double elixir and soon to be triple elixir. And also the giant skeleton death bomb will probably hit his Ewis and his ghost, I think, but I'm not really too sure if it's actually gonna walk. And he's gonna just give us the laughing face. You're gonna reply with the laughing face as well, and I think Queen will take it right there. So really nice win. Alright, and in the next match, we're gonna be up against this guy, so not really too sure what he's playing here. He's going to call the good game early. Not sure if I know him or something like that. Sometimes people try to draw each other on top ladder, but I don't really know who this guy is. And he's going to have the tombstone plus bar barrel there. We're going to get one hog shot in his tower, so really nice just like that. And also pretty good earthquake damage as well. And he's going to go with the ice wizard in the back, so I'm just going to go with the fire spirit kind of aggressively right there, trying to bait out something. He'll go with the Valkyrie right here, so just from those few cards, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Splash Yard right here, which is going to be a little bit of a difficult matchup. Actually, like one of the more difficult matchups with Hog Rider, but maybe we can make it work here just with this really nice start. And he's going to catch our Hog Rider there last second with the Tombstone. I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't, and it would just get like that really nice 400 damage. But yeah, well played by him here, and I'm not sure if our Queen will survive or not. Okay, looks like our Queen is going to pretty much die from those skeletons. Maybe I could have went with an Earthquake on his Tombstone, even though our Hog had already died, just to like protect our Queen a little bit longer. But I think we should be fine here. The really nice thing about this matchup is the Fire Spirit just always forcing out at least like 2 or 3 elixir every time, even though it's just like a cheap 1 elixir card. So that's really nice to always apply pressure and get a lot of damage if he doesn't have a good cycle. So looks like he's going to go with the Valkyrie in the back right here. So I'm just going to go with an Archer Queen in the left lane, knowing that he doesn't really have any other good tank to really stop our Archer Queens besides his Valkyrie. And I also went with the prediction log. I was kind of hoping to hit the Tombstone, but he actually did the smart play of going with the off to the side. And I think it's actually like one of the Splash Yard players that finished top 10 a few seasons ago. So yeah, like seeing his name now, I think it probably is him, which is going to be actually pretty nice if we end up beating him here, because he's really one of the best players at Graveyard in the entire game. So definitely going to be a difficult matchup here as we head into double elixir though. So it's going to be like a little bit easier for Hog in single elixir compared to double elixir against most Graveyard decks, but still off to like a really nice start here. And honestly, Earthquake's pretty nice on defense against Graveyard, so even though we don't have like a poison or something like that to fully counter his Graveyards, we should be fine here, I think. And yeah, he's going to probably set up with a Graveyard push here. He's going to go with the Graveyard, so I'm just going to set up a cannon right here. Unfortunately, Valkyrie, no, the cannon is going to kind of like target the skeletons a little bit badly there, so he's going to get a bit of chip damage. And I meant to actually like say the Queen kind of walked straight into his Valkyrie. I kind of got mixed up on my words right there, but should be fine. You're going to block his baby dragon from getting any hits on our tower, but he is kind of coming back into the game just from that Graveyard, getting quite a lot of chip damage there. Our cannon wasn't really targeting what I wanted it to, so not really too good for us here. And he's going to go with the Valkyrie plus Graveyard here, so just going to go with the cannon on his Valkyrie. Pretty nice right. They're going to pressure with a Fire Spirit as well. Going to force him to probably spend something right there. He's going to go with the Ice Wizard, and he does get a few skeleton chip shots right there, but we do have a giant skeleton coming down, so we can just go with the Hog Rider behind it, and we'll be back to another Earthquake to defend his Tombstone pretty easily right there. And yeah, I don't know if he can actually NATO it to his King Tower, because the Valkyrie was kind of blocking the Hog Rider to go towards the King Tower, so we are going to get one lucky Hog shot right there. Really nice for us, and I don't think his Barbara is going to be enough here. He's probably going to have to spend something else, so I'm going to go with the prediction log there on like a Tombstone or Ice Wizard or anything like that there. We didn't actually hit anything, but should be fine either. We're going to go with an Earthquake on his Ice Wizard as well. And yeah, it is going to only hit one of those Tombstone Skellies that kind of walked up. I'm not sure if our Hog will actually get a shot right here just because of his King Tower. It looks like it won't, but we actually got quite a bit of chip damage there. And yeah, the nice thing about Giant Skeleton here is that we don't even have to let his pushes cross the river, because we do have the Giant Skeleton, which will just like body block everything really nicely right here. And unfortunately, his Barbara will kind of tank for his Graveyard pretty nicely right there, but still gonna defend really nicely here with the cannon. Even though the cannon got like that hit speed nerf quite a while ago, it's still actually quite nice against Graveyard. Like if you have like a lone Graveyard against like a cannon and a tower, like the Graveyard will pretty much get like 0 damage on your tower. So if you can just like bridge block with like your Giant Skeleton or something, you should be able to defend their Graveyards pretty nicely right there. And I'm not sure if he got like a Hog hit or something. We're actually doing quite a bit of damage to his tower, so yeah, in a really good spot here. Gonna also cycle an Earthquake just to make sure that we stay in the lead by quite a bit here. And yeah, it could be a little bit hard to kill his baby dragon, so I'm just going to go with the bridge Giant Skeleton just to kind of like block the lane and not really allow him to play anything else or get anything tanking for his Graveyard. Like that's really the most important thing in this matchup, just to make sure that they can actually tank their Graveyards, and you can just easily counter them with like a cannon or an Earthquake every time. And looks like he's going to let our Giant Skeleton get to his tower, so should actually bring his tower down to probably quite low HP. It's going to be at 1338 right there, so doing quite a bit of damage to both of his towers here. And as long as his graveyard doesn't get like a crazy amount of damage, I think we should be fine right here. And yeah, our giant skeleton's going to kind of walk pretty near his tower at this point. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!